I had to be reminded recently that people do like to know what things are about. It's not the first thing that I ask when I'm looking for a book to read, and so it didn't occur to me that it would necessarily be the first thing that other people would want to know about City Song before City Song came out. City Song is about a character named Reg who becomes the magician for a small band of thieves conducting heists in the magical backstage of his hometown. That is what City Song is about. But I don't believe that stories are about what they're about. Not in an artistic way, but in a technical way. You can tell the most brief story, and it is the dullest thing in the world because it doesn't include all the details. It doesn't include the perspective or the emotion or the dressing up or the angles or what all the color that creates the particular impression of this particular book. And so I can tell you what the book's about. That's what it's about. But I can't necessarily tell you how it feels. That's why I pursue how it feels when I'm looking for a new book. I sort of think about how other books I've read have felt, and then I look for books that feel somewhat similar. It's a little bit hard to look for books that way, but it's not impossible because I can talk to people and discover things. I'm going to tell you how the feeling that I seek to put out with City Song. City Song is meant to feel like staying out too late and having something to do. I think that's a cool feeling. It's worth writing a whole story in that kind of mode. That's what it's about. That's what it feels like. I can't guarantee that experience. Obviously, that's more complicated than what I can do. But what I can say is that's kind of where it's at. I recently read it too, so I can tell you the experience of reading it. Now, all stories come from somewhere. People always ask me, this is the cliche idea, is the cliche question that people ask a writer, where do you get your ideas? It's hard to answer because the world is basically made of ideas. It's just how it works, and as a writer, all what I do is organize those ideas. So City Song is the product of a lot of ideas falling into place all at once and becoming organized in an odd way because strange combinations are what make the coolest kinds of stories. I won't tell you all of them, but I'll tell you the experience of reading it recently. It felt a lot like when I was reading this book, it felt a lot like the product of an imagination that grew up remembering Harry Potter and wishing to wishing to inhabit that sense, of how the world is just a little bit around that corner over there. There's some magic. That's how it feels. But having grown up, so it's like a generation old Harry Potter fan. It's sort of how it feels without being like a Harry Potter fan. That's probably the wrong way of thinking about it. Harry Potter fan is the wrong word. Someone who grew up reading Harry Potter, lots of other things, but that one particular, it doesn't actually matter which fantasy world you're talking about, but Harry Potter is the obvious example. It feels like it's the product of an imagination, nostalgic for Harry Potter, but who also grew up, who also matured somehow. City Song is coming out. I think it's cool. It's a good story. So that's what it's about. Reg at night. Not Harry Potter.